Hello everyone, I am Prince Mishra and in our series of GS syllabus detailing of the geography component, in this session we will discuss the detailed topics of ocean that you are supposed to study. So let's begin. In ocean, as far as the ocean is concerned, ocean is part of both prelims as well as mains examination. In the prelims examination, it is part of the Indian and world geography, that is the physical geography. So under the physical geography, this topic of ocean is being covered, and in the mains examination it comes under the two component. One is the salient features of world physical geography and another one important geophysical phenomena, mainly the phenomena like tsunamis, cyclone. These are the phenomena which are mainly associated with the oceans. But the topics of oceans are not clearly mentioned in the syllabus, that which of the detailed topic you are supposed to study. So you are supposed to study under the ocean the topics of, the first topic that you are supposed to study is the waters on the surface of the earth. What is the distribution of the water? Where we have a presence of fresh water. So fresh water distribution. Also the different water bodies. Here comes the very important role of mapping. So in case of ocean, it is very important that you should have a broad idea of the different oceans, different straits, different water bodies that are present on the earth's surface. So this is a topic which not only requires the theoretical aspect, not only requires the concept, but also requires large scale lots of mapping. तो यहाँ पे मैपिंग की बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंस है. स्ट्रेट पता होना चाहिए, गल्फ पता होना चाहिए, बे. सो ऑल द गल्फ, ऑल द बे, ऑल द water bodies, and in fact you need to locate the water bodies on the map and also need to identify that which are the countries that are sharing boundary with those water bodies, which are the countries that are not sharing the boundaries with that water body. So lots of map work, atlas work that you are supposed to study. Then the next topic under this ocean that you are supposed to study is the ocean bottom relief. It is the surface structure of the ocean. So here comes the different landforms present: continental shelf, continental slope, continental rise, and then deep ocean floor. So under the ocean bottom relief, these are the topics that you are supposed to study. When it comes to the deep ocean floor, so within the deep ocean floor, large scale landforms are present, because our ocean surface, ocean bottom is not a flat featureless plane. Rather, it has a diversity of landforms. So diversity of landforms like trenches are present, mid oceanic ridges are present. Also we have a presence of seamount, sea plateaus, Gyres. So these are the landforms that you will find is present on the ocean floor. Other than this, there are large scale flat surface. So there are large scale flat surface is also present within the deep ocean, which is being referred as abyssal plain. So abyssal plain also. In fact, abyssal plain happens to be one of the important place for the presence of large scale oceanic resources, marine resources, oceanic deposits. So these are the topics that you are supposed to study. Next comes the movement within the ocean. Oceanic water happens to witness three different movements, and these three movements are known as oceanic waves, oceanic tides and oceanic currents. In the waves, what causes waves? What are the types of waves? Within the wave, which are high energy wave, low energy wave. In fact, this topic is very much sync up with the topic of geomorphology. In the geomorphology, we have a topic of landform development, and one of the landform is associated with the sea waves. So, which of the landform associated with the sea wave will be erosional landform, and which of the landform will be depositional landform is primarily associated with whether it's high energy waves or the low energy waves. High energy waves are known to create the erosional landform, whereas the low energy waves are known for the creation of the depositional landform. So, whether it will be the erosional or whether it will be the depositional will be primarily based on that what is the nature of the sea waves. And the main reason for the initiation of the sea wave happens to be the wind. So, it will primarily depends upon the nature of the winds. If it's a very strong wind, it will always have tendency to generate the high energy waves, and if it is a weak wind, so it will have tendency to generate the low energy waves. Then comes, and in fact the waves happens to be the horizontal movement. So, it comes under the category of horizontal movement of the oceanic water. Then comes the vertical movements of oceanic water in the form of tides. So, what is oceanic tides? Cause of tide? What is tidal bore? What is the different type of tides like Neap tide? How and when this Neap tide occurs? What is the spring tide? What is the Sijgi? Then what is the flow? What is the ebb? So, flood and ebb. So, all these are the topics associated with the tide that you are supposed to study. Then comes in this category of movement the most important movement, that is the ocean current. Cause of, origin and movement of ocean currents. What is the subtropical circulation, which is also known as gyre? The different type of ocean currents. Different type of ocean current, primarily two types of ocean current, that is, so different type of ocean current, that is surface ocean current and deep ocean current. Surface ocean current and the deep ocean current. Within the surface ocean currents, we have the two different category of surface ocean current. One is cold ocean current and the another one warm ocean current. Deep ocean current is also associated with the global circulation of the water. So, global circulation, because the surface, on the surface generally water from the low latitude moves to the higher latitude, and in the higher latitude the water sinks, which initiates the deep ocean current movement, and within the thermohaline the water moves, and this movement of water will be simply referred as the thermohaline circulation or the global conveyor belt. So, global conveyor belt is also part of this. global conveyor belt. So these are the part of the deep ocean current. And then the last and most important topic associated with the deep or in general ocean current, that is effect of ocean current. So ocean current phenomena is the most important phenomena on the earth surface other than the wind in the transportation of energy. So it not only transport the energy, but along with the energy it also have tendency to cause different effect nearby the coastal area. So we have a large scale variety of the effect of the ocean current that you are supposed to study. So water on the surface of the earth, ocean bottom relief, waves, tides, ocean currents. Then the physical characteristic of the ocean, and in the physical characteristic of ocean we have a ocean water temperature and the ocean water salinity. Within the temperature, the horizontal distribution of temperature, then we have vertical distribution of temperature, so horizontal distribution of temperature, vertical distribution of temperature. In the vertical distribution of temperature, we have a zone of thermocline. So what is this thermocline zone? How the water temperature changes vertically, how the water temperature changes horizontally. Within the ocean salinity, what are different major salt, how it change horizontal variation, how the salinity change vertically, in vertical variation what is this halocline, and the effect of variation of the salinity. So what effect it has over the physical movement or over the ocean life, marine resources. So these are the topics that you are supposed to study. Moving to next topic is the coral reef. Coral reef happens to be one of the part of marine resources, biotic resources. But coral reef happens to be the most important oceanic organism, marine organism. That is why it is important to study separately. Conditions for the growth of coral reef. Then types of coral reef. Within the type we have the fringing reef, barrier reef, atoll. So fringing reef, barrier reef, atolls. Also the destruction of the coral reef or the threat of the coral reef in the form of coral bleaching. Also the distribution of coral. So distribution of corals, coral bleaching. So these are the topics that you are supposed to study under the coral reef. Then comes the topic of ocean deposits. So where deposit is, what are the different forms, types of the deposit, Also, what is this? Nodules, mostly the metallic nodules, polymetallic nodules, PMN, that is how the deposits are being distributed. Deposits are present in the different parts of the ocean. So, it is present in the continental margin part, that is your shelf, slope, rise, and also it is present in the abyssal plain. Most of the deposits that are present in the abyssal plain happens to be the mineral deposits, and those mineral deposits are very important. In the deposits, we have the deposits are also present in the mud form. So, we have the algae, mud, oozes. So, all those are present in the ocean. Similarly, we have the last topic, that is the marine resources. So, marine resources, we have the biotic resource and we have abiotic resources. Abiotic resources mostly present in the nodule form, which is being extracted from the ocean surface. So, as far as deposits are concerned and the resources are concerned, these are more or less very much sync up, other than the deposits which are present in form of oozes, which are present in the mud form. So, other than the mud form, biological resources are very much associated with we have the fishes, we have the mostly floaters are there, mostly the swimmers are there. So, floaters, swimmers, and then the benthic organisms that are present in the deeper part of the ocean. So, these are the topics that you are supposed to study under the oceans. Topics of the oceans are comparatively easy, but the topics of ocean happens to be very important because regularly questions are being asked. And in fact, in this changing nature of the geography and mainly in the backdrop of climate change, because the climate and ocean are very much linked up. Whatever the effect in the climate is happening, the very first place where the effect will be more visible is not the continent, rather it will be the ocean over the water. That is why most of these phenomena, whether it's a temperature, salinity, or the waves, or the tides, or the currents, or the coral reefs, all these are undergoing the great change mainly because of the climate change. That is why large number of questions are being asked from this topic. Now, if you look out the questions like what is sea surface temperature rise related to the climate change, how does it affect the formation of the tropical cyclone? Tropical cyclone is a topic that are primarily related to the climate, but it is associated with the ocean. So, we cannot differentiate that this is ocean. The ocean and climate needs to be studied in one go, in one sing. What are the forces that influence ocean current? Describe their role in fishing industry of the world. So, fishing industry means ocean current have direct role over the fishing, and the fishing is one of the important aspects of the economic activity for most of the countries. So, that is how the questions are being framed. In fact, temperature part, salinity part, also ocean current part also dominates in the prelims examination also. Like this question is directly associated with the ocean mean temperature. Then there was a question related to the differentiation of ocean and continents heating pattern, cooling pattern, because the ocean gets heated slowly and the ocean gets cooled slowly in comparison to the continent, mainly because of the specific heat of the water. So, it is very important to prepare the topic of ocean diligently. Now, before concluding, let us look out the books that needs to be referred. Again, for the covering ocean, it is important for you to just go with the NCERT class 11th fundamentals of physical geography. Other than this, Atlas, these two will be more than sufficient to develop a sound base to cover majority of the topic. But of course, other than this, ocean also requires some of the current affairs as well as knowledge of contemporary issues. So, contemporary issues also needs to be looked up. So that is all about the ocean. Thank you.